All right, it's 6 o'clock. Call the meeting to order. We have a quorum. Bob Murray will be sitting in for David Raffinius as the selectman representative on the budget committee. Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public input. None. Approval of minutes. We have the November 4th, 2025 minutes that were sent out to you in the mail out.
I didn't see anything. I'll make a motion to approve as written.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
And you're gonna abstain too, right, Kevin?
Yeah, oh yeah, abstain. I was there.
5-5-0-2. Okay, and just to move things along, we're gonna just cover a few open items on the fire and rescue departments, so those guys can be excused and don't have to wait around for long.
Perfect.
So, can you slide up to the table or?
Oh, thank you.
You had requested some information.
Yeah. Go for it.
We had a
Thank you.
slight meltdown with the system today.
Good.
The records management system's having a hard time pulling some of the data. They've had a flood in it this time of year.
Oh.
So there's your mutual aid requests. The times wouldn't populate, so I'll get you the times so we can break down the day and night requests that you had asked about. What your payroll hours are on the front. So we will follow back up with the additional once it's available.
Oh, so you're gonna get the day and the night. Gotcha.
the-
Yeah.
The times wouldn't
Yeah.
populate with them, so we couldn't
That's fine.
split them into day or night
That's-
for tonight, but we will, as soon as that information populates
Perfect.
back through, we'll send it right back out.
So can you just explain this to me?
Yeah, so the front page is just your breakdown
The
under the
payroll hours.
categories for the payroll, the budget lines and the hours worked under each one for 24 and up to this point, year-to-date in 25.
And what point in time is this? Do you know when this has been the cutoff time is?
Yesterday,
So this is through yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's middle of it, so it's.
Monday,
well,
I
Monday.
apologize, Monday.
That's okay, 10 and a half months.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
so if I annualize that, is there any reason why I shouldn't annualize that?
11 and a half minutes.
What's that? It's December and half of November, so.
Okay. 7:17.
Is there any reason why I wouldn't analyze, is there anything more that happens in the second half of November and December than happens in, it's kind of consistent.
I mean, summertime sometimes is busier for us. We have less shift coverage as we come into the November, December time. Once we're into the winter, sometimes that picks back up, but right now it's a little bit quieter, but if you wanted to average,
Might be more fires as far as stoves.
So we're looking at like 12, like the similar amount of hours to last year.
I hate to ask, do we have total calls year to date, not including, Mutual?
593.
so 593 total, and you gave us the mutual aid here.
Yeah.
Was, of those,
so as of the first of the month, I can give you that, if that helps. That breaks down nights and weekends. If you were looking for like total, but that was as of January, sorry.
I know what you meant.
As
you're
of
good.
November 1st.
It's fine.
That one was as of November 1st. So those numbers aren't gonna match specifically
Yeah,
to
I
that.
think, right, so it's 593 total, including these that you gave us on the spreadsheet.
Well, canceled en route is a problem, isn't it?
It's one of those, you want help coming, and if we don't need it, we
Yeah,
cancel it.
yeah.
If we get there and determine that it wasn't a building fire, or it wasn't a water rescue, then we go
Turn
home.
it
But
on, yeah.
if you've got somebody in the water in immediate need of rescue, I want 2 or 3 boats coming, because if there's multiple people in the water, you need multiple boats picking people out.
Yeah.
And you still need to deal with the vessel or the incident at hand, so some of those, or fire, same incidents, yep, okay, we don't need help to get turned around.
And a lot of times it's a long ways away, you know, we're 20 minutes
Yeah.
getting to
Yeah.
some scenes.
Well, that one was in Guilford, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Wolfboro looks like they have the highest percentage.
We just go back to the payroll. It's kind of, on the, it looks like we're gonna come out flat, which is sort of consistent with what the budget was for 2025. Because remember when you hired a new person, we adjusted things out to
Yep.
keep the hours kind of consistent, right?
Mhm.
That's what we did.
Yep,
So 2026 is gonna be a step up in hours, just because of the number of. 'cause of the
correct,
comp-
because
Right.
this year's full-time firefighter is only for the 6 months, so we should see a slight increase for him the rest of the time, but we now no longer see his time in the
In
call
the-
firefighter
Four,
line.
5, right, yeah, so that should happen, it'll be good
Mhm.
going forward, if when you do the budget, this is a great sheet of paper, it just sort of explains what's kind of going
Sure.
on.
Yeah, we can
And-
continue to provide.
Yeah, and just show it for the budget,
Mhm.
because you can figure out the hours you're budgeting in your budget, right?
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah, so it'll be great. All right, so that's that,
Okay.
and you guys will understand this piece of paper. So
Yeah.
are these the calls that Tuftonboro had out to go to Martinboro?
These are,
to send to
correct,
us?
these are all
Okay.
requests for mutual aid to those corresponding communities.
And then do we have the requests that Tuftonboro made out to these communities?
Yes, I didn't print that, but I can send that to you.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah. There were only 3 incidents that we had this year that brought mutual aid in,
Into us?
correct.
Then you don't have to.
But with those 3 incidents, there are probably 8 communities
Right.
with each
With
one
each.
that came, but there were
It's
only
a-
3
okay.
occurrences.
Okay.
But we
so,
don't
3 times.
call for a
Yeah.
lot of mutual aid.
Oh, so that's important. So 3 with 8 communities coming in? So
Yeah.
it's 24, so it would look like 24 on this list, right?
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Do you get, that's right, right?
8 times 3 is 24.
No, I understand that, but it's like, we shop here, but when we shop for a Wolfboro fire, there may have been 6 other communities that showed up too.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Right, and these are all listed like that too, yeah.
Yep.
What's the nomenclature in the left-hand column here? Fire, medical?
Correct.
And then,
Yeah.
and then,
F is
The
fire,
incident number
M
and
is
then the
medical.
year.
okay,
Special
S is,
detail,
uh,
SPD, special detail.
okay.
So, and what is, I mean, that's hard to say this, because clearly it's kind of just, there's a disparity in the calls, right? I actually don't know how big the disparity is, but there is a disparity. We're servicing a lot more than the other communities are servicing us.
You figure that when a first alarm is put out, there's probably 5, as the captain said, there's probably 6 to 8 communities that are coming also with that. So other towns are seeing the same thing as far as it goes. Going to Wolfboro or going to Moultonboro. It all depends on what it is. You know, are they looking for an ambulance because their ambulances are all tied up now? And we're going in to handle, one of their calls? Or is it a fire that everyone's going to be coming anyways, type of thing?
We also explained a little bit the last time how the Ospey Mountains kind of shield us from them and them from
Yeah.
us. So reciprocally, if you look at their mutual aid amongst each other, they use each other a little bit more than they do us. Kind of like we use Moultonboro and Wolfboro a little bit more than we use Ossipee because of that travel distance for that response.
And I guess Moultonboro, or would you Center Harbor? Center Harbor and Moultonboro would coordinate more than Center Harbor would ever come.
Center Harbor Sandwich and Moultonboro communicate
Yeah,
a lot and auto respond a lot with each other. We're really only, I would say probably 90% of these calls are into Ball Peak. or the lake for Moultonborough anyway.
Okay.
We're very quick, just about anywhere on the lake, because
Yeah.
our boat is right at Pier 19. Their boat is coming a long ways out of
They have to
their
travel through
area.
our whole community
Right.
to get to
Are they in Greens Basin?
the Lee's Mills.
Lee's Mills.
Oh, yeah, that's not.
So we're in their community before they probably get to the, out of Lee's Mills.
So we would say there would be 20, let's say there's three, we got three, there's 6 respondents to each one of ours, just on average. That's 18, right?
Mhm.
And so what do we have here? We have probably like a 2-to-1 ratio, right, that's going on. 2.5 times.
Depends on who you're comparing, but yeah.
But I mean, if we had 2 more calls,
Right.
Changes big time.
Yep.
so it's kind of a leverage situation. Yeah.
It's nice when they repay the favor, but we're not hoping to have those calls.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Are you good with
Yep,
that?
I'm good with that. Yep,
Okay,
I'm
and then
good.
we had a discussion around the, I don't know, the account.
Yeah. Bring that down to 25.
It was the call officer pay. There it is.
Call firefighter stipend.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you guys take another look at that?
So,
We did.
yeah, we did. We kind of, we talked about the call firefighters, call officers, shift coverage and overtime specifically with the lines that we kind of hammered
Yeah.
more time into than others.
Yeah.
And following your request with looking at that 25,000 and where that could come from, it put us to dive into those 4 lines a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
And we do feel that we can trim a little bit in those. Not, we can't find 25 in the budget overall,
Yeah.
but those could come down if you start comparing what we forecasted and where we're at for current expenditures for our year.
Our forecasting was really close on some of the lines that got cut last year. They're actually gone over to the point of where we had
Yeah.
forecasted. But we had looked at 2,000 in call firefighter pay, 2,000 in call officer,
That's reducing those 2 lines by.
reducing the lines by $2,000. Shift coverage, we still would really like to do the nighttime stipend for the 2 people. But if I was gonna cut somewhere, I would cut 6,000 from that. Full-time overtime was $4,000 and training was $1,000. We came out to $15,000.
Okay, so I want to be, we already discussed, we had some confusion on what my specific request was, right? So my request was on the coverage, was to take a look at that, because I think we thought that it would have been over, we weren't gonna use 365 days,
Yeah.
right? That wasn't gonna happen for a bunch of reasons, so that was one. On the 25,000, I wasn't actually asking for, I was just asking for you guys to go take, just so I could understand where the money was coming from.
But that conversation got us looking into those 4 lines in
That's
more
good, though.
detail, and we
Okay.
believe that, we understand you're not asking us to cut the 25, but
Yeah.
readdressing these numbers in our conversation specifically with like the shift coverage, we think that this is a equitable solution to fund the budget, but also allow that program to start and try to see if it helps support that night response from our members.
Okay. How do you guys wanna do this? I think we're taking 15,000 out of this budget. So what do you wanna do? You want us to do it? or
If
do
you take
wanna-
anything out of it, I'm gonna vote no, only because that's not what the selectmen approved.
So I'm asking a slightly different question,
Yeah.
because you guys can go back and reconsider your budget. So if you wanna go back and do that, I'm fine with that. This is not a matter of us showing anybody up or trying to do anything. This is a matter of just getting the right answers. So I'm indifferent, and hopefully my committee agrees, but I'm indifferent on how we do it. These guys are coming back and just having meetings. It's really them adjusting their budget, which is the part that's kind of great about it. So I'd be happy
Yeah.
to roll this all the way back to them coming with their number, same number, same number.
We'll reconsider.
Okay.
If these guys are good with it, if you guys are good with it.
We obviously want to still try to make the nighttime coverage work. I have some questions in which we can discuss further as far as selectmen wise. I have an issue with taking the money back from the members if they do get to come out on a call. I feel that that money is for them to come out, and they did what they said they were going to do, that they should get the stipend for the night if they come out.
If you guys are okay with us reconsidering it, I think we can consider it.
So that you'd reconsider that. That's an operational thing for you guys to figure out. But in event if your budget would come to look like the selectmen's budget, there's 15,000. Their budget would be there's 15,000, and our budget would be there's 50,000. Are you good with that?
Seems perfectly fine to me, so do we vote to table this until,
Yeah,
I think
table.
motion to table this until the selectmen and the fire department had a chance to go through it.
Can I get a second?
Second, sorry.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. I just want to thank you guys for putting together once again an amazing budget, great work, a lot of detail, nothing left not knowing or under the table, just so very much appreciated.
Just once this select board reviews that, is there anything else you want us to come back and just provide those same statistics that?
No, we're good. I mean, you've done everything, and this is just a good work in progress.
Yeah, very good. So, thank
You
you.
don't need to see us back. We'll let-
No, you're free.
When they review it again and it comes back to your table.
No, you're fine. No,
Yeah.
because you provided us with absolutely everything.
And do you have anything further as far as emergency management?
No.
That was
No,
asked.
we're all good on that budget.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys available Monday afternoon?
I should be.
We're having a work session Monday
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah.
We hadn't intended on doing this, but I think I'd like to get this pushed forward,
Done.
so I think it's important that we get you done.
Okay. I'll see you there.
But yeah, feel free if you want to just come for a Tuesday night.
Hang out.
Thank you for your time.
Okay,
Thanks, guys.
okay. I'm now going to move to, if that's okay with everybody, to line item 6, so we can move some of these people along before we do chairman and budget.
Works for me.
Right. So our first one is planning board. Is anybody here from the planning board?
No, we didn't need to.
Yeah, no, but they,
Well, I'm the selectman's rep on the planning board,
oh, okay.
if that helps.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Hey, yeah, it does.
Is it because they have a bunch of new members that you're asking for tuition this year?
There's always training that needs to be done,
Right.
and we do have a bunch of new members. I don't have to give the direct answer, but yes, I would say yes.
Probably.
Yes, most likely.
Good. So
I don't even think it's gonna be $1,000 though. I mean,
it's been 0 for the last 5 years.
true.
We've got a slew of new members this year.
Okay, good. Second.
Can you go back to them and see, I mean, some of us sit on several boards, to get kind of more of a take on like who would actually be doing and what they were doing. I mean, they're not huge, costly items to go into some of these seminars.
Yep.
Could you just go back to them and just see?
Yep.
That would be great. I know it's only $1,000, but it's been 0 for 5 years.
Okay. I agree with that. And so, the one thing that does happen, and you've done a really, it seems to me that there's been an effort made where money has not been spent in the past to reduce certain line items, and it comes through in a bunch of different budgets where that's happening, and so that effort is appreciated for sure. So I think that was one of the ones that sort of were left open. But it'd be good just to go and say, yeah, we've got 4 members that are going to do training, so this is the cost. Everything to go to training. What's the Lakes what's this money we pay to the Lakes Region Planning Commission?
LRPC.
That's
It's
a
a
subscription dues
dues.
to
And
be
it's
members.
it's a known amount, right?
Yes.
Is the planning consultant fees a contract, or is this a guesstimate of what they're going to be
It's an
spending?
estimate. She charges us by the hour, much less than an attorney would charge.
So is this in lieu of you not being able to get the information from the LRPC?
No, this is I've never personally been involved with the LRPC, but this consultant that we have has done nothing but planning her entire career. And she's well adept. She comes in, she does our training, our once-a-year training. Our chairman will bounce stuff off of her before it gets sent to an attorney to try to save money. This is all an attempt to use a consultant rather than an attorney, whenever possible.
In regards to questions for subdivisions, things that they're just not familiar with because they're newer to the board?
No, because they're constantly updating
Yep.
the planning and zoning. So as we're going through it, we'll bounce things that we want to change off of her first, and then the attorney will get saved for final review.
So this is now, because back a few years ago, it was the secretary that had the knowledge to do this. So now we've got a secretary, plus we have our administrative assistant and a planning consultant, and then we have the attorney on top of that.
The planning, the assistant and the consultant are two completely different jobs.
They are now, but they didn't used to be. That's what I'm trying to
Yeah,
get
well,
at.
they should be two different jobs because they're
Okay.
very different levels of expertise. I mean, you've got the administrative secretary who basically knows the day-to-day routine and does all the in-house administrative stuff that she can do. But when we start getting into changing planning and zoning, we work with the consultant. And then, of course, the attorney gets final review.
I'm just saying, back in the day, it used to be LRPC we would consult, and not the consultant.
I don't have an experience working with LRPC, but
That's why we pay the dues.
So, and on this admin assistant, we've sort of been at 10 grand a year, every year or less, and in actual, right? And then now it's at, have people come and gone from this position, or has it been, or are these just the hours she's worked every year, and we've just changed the budget? I'm trying to figure out why we have this disparity of 6,000 to 7,000 per year.
well, 2025 was 16,242, and this year we're going up to 17,1.
That was the budget.
And
So
I
the-
presume that is just, that's a COLA increase.
Yeah, the budget was, the 2025 amount is so far is 9,462 that we've actually spent,
Yeah,
right? So it's gonna be like around
year to date, we got another
11,
7 weeks.
it's gonna be like 11 grand overall.
Right.
And the year before was 10,226. And the year before that was 10,700, and the year before that was 10,000. So I'm just trying to figure out what this disparity is.
The admin's being way over budgeted when she's not actually doing the hours. To the tune between 60, to the tune of $6,500 to $7,000. That's what we're trying to figure out. That's the budget, but she's hourly. So if she's only doing hourly and she's doing $12,000 worth a year, that's fine.
Right.
If she was salaried, like to your point, that'd be one thing, but that's not what she is. She's hourly. So could you get an answer on that?
Yeah.
Are there any other workshop groups that can be attended by the planning board members, other than this one organization?
Oh yeah,
for-
there's others that are out there, just like
Okay.
the charitable, or just you know, I'm on the trustee of the trust funds, but there's different ones that go.
I mean, I'm just curious, where does the planning board develop a notion that something has to be changed or amended in the zoning laws? How does that come about?
RSA?
But the RSA and the
RSA,
state,
they're
the
RSA
state
driven.
does this.
Absolutely, there's a lot of RSA driven.
Okay, are they all RSA driven?
Yeah, well, and by the rules are that the towns have to follow the RSA. They can be
Sure.
stricter, but they have to follow the state. And if the state makes a change, you gotta do it.
All right, so the primary driver though is RSA's.
Primary.
Okay.
Audrey?
The chairman of the planning board has been in here for many hours over the last few weeks going through all of they have 2 books on the zoning and subdivision regulations, and he's marked them all up to get retyped, and sometimes it's grammatical, sometimes it's a conflict, in which case he'll go to the consultant and say, you know, what's right. They're gonna have approximately 10 to 12 warrant articles, and those are RSA driven. And they never know what kinds of subdivisions or things are coming in front of them. So although Susan's hours budget might be high, you know, it really depends on what kind of plan comes. I think next year they're anticipating, what's that called, the Birch and Vine, you know, development there. So I don't know if
Still,
what
it's
developments are happening, but I do know that some of their justification.
I think the one thing we've got to be careful of here is just baking this into the numbers,
Mhm.
year-over-year budget. So I'd like to see it just be looked at again with a fresh look, especially Inc. is being, you know, high every year. And I think my sense is that the Birch and Vine, that's happened, right? There's no other approvals, the work hasn't happened, but.
It hasn't come to
Oh,
planning.
It's gone through ZBA.
Yeah, part of it's gone through ZBA, but they get denied, so we don't know what's gonna happen after that. There's a lot of work that's coming down the pipeline with that project.
It is another big one, so I'd like to see
Yeah.
it looked at.
Yeah,
Yep.
let's see the analysis.
Would you like Anthony to come to the next meeting?
Yeah, just check the numbers.
I think we need to get a justification as to why the admin assistant is as high as it is. And I think that's.
You know, he put the budget, so.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it was.
He's not available this week.
A color, because we just need that justification, you know, that makes sense. And if it, or else an adjustment.
So you're just looking at the hours for administrative assistant, and you wanna know what's going into tuition reimbursement.
Yep.
Everything else you're all set with.
Well, I thought we were asking questions about, I guess I don't understand the Lakes Region Planning Commission. Are they like a consulting arm?
Yes, they actually are. Lakes Region
Yeah.
Planning, and I'm only saying this because I was on the planning board for 10 years, and
Yeah.
I'm questioning some of this because we pay good money to LRPC to get professional opinions and to get advice and to get,
And this is sort of
Written,
an
and
unlimited
written-
annual fee?
it's an annual fee that's paid by the town to LRPC.
Right.
And LRPC used to help, and they did help when we developed the updated master plan. So I understand things are more complex now, but here we are now in this budget, now asking for an additional consultant that's gonna do the exact same thing that we pay LRPC to do for $4,000. Like I said, I understand things are more complex, but we're paying money to LRPC, now we're gonna have this consultant. That does the same thing. I understand that, you know, sometimes LRPC isn't always available, but that's why we have the dues. They're our consultant. They're the ones that can tell us. They're the ones that can give us the verbiage. They're the ones that are staying, you know, they get the finger on the pulse. They know when the RSAs are coming. They know when things are changing. That's why we had them originally. Now we're adding another one. That's my question. You know, what's the drive here and how much is LRPC actually being used? If LRPC is not being used to its full capacity, then maybe the planning board should look at something else. And fine, then use the consultant, in-house consultant, that's fine. But are we using LRPC to our best of our ability?
I wonder if the problem is that
Yeah.
LRPC is not as capable as it used to be, and consequently, we're being driven out to find another external source for guidance.
And if that's the case, then maybe we should
Maybe
look at
that's
our
where the-
LRPC.
That's where I
Yeah.
see the issue.
Yeah.
And I know that for some time, we did have an administrative assistant that was pretty much connected to the technicalities, and so,
So Bob, I guess.
I mean, I would expect to see one go up and one go down,
Yeah.
not both go up.
No, but the legal fees went down.
What's that?
Legal fees.
No, I'm not talking about legal fees, I'm
No,
talking
but
about
that,
just,
but this.
Which is important.
Planning consultant fee
yeah.
Yeah.
is offset
Came from
legal fees.
legal.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but having said that, we adjusted, the legal budget's gonna have to come up for reconsideration again for the
Yeah.
same reason, because we adjusted down the legal fees on that, and he came back and didn't want that. So I think that we should ask them to consider, and if everybody else agrees with this, to say so, the administrative assistant, tuition reimbursement, Lakes Region Planning Commission. So the first two stand on their own. The next three, Lakes Region Planning Commission, planning consultant fees, and legal fees, to be considered in conjunction with each other and looked at in conjunction to see what happens. So,
As an aside, LRPC does more than just planning. They do our hazardous waste day, they do our road study. So planning actually doesn't like LRPC being in their budget, but that's where it's always landed.
But this isn't the full, this isn't
Yeah,
the
it
full
is.
amount. Oh, it is.
not
Okay,
the
so it's not
hazardous
prorated.
waste, but
Yeah.
it is what the selectmen go to LRPC for
I see.
and other organizations.
And is that like a retainer? Is there a certain number of hours,
It's
or is it just
dues.
an annual?
No, it's dues.
It is.
yeah.
Dues.
Okay,
It's
all right,
annual
understood.
dues.
But it's not just planning, it's roads and.
Okay. Thank you.
all right? So then we move
That
on
was a good
to,
point.
any more discussion on this? We're good. Move on to ZBA.
Somebody's going to a workshop.
Right.
Well, I look at the ZBA, for some reason, oh, I know why. Go look at the ZBA numbers are in here.
And don't forget, a lot of these numbers, public notices, supply, postage, those are in and out numbers.
Yeah,
There's revenue to support those.
okay. The, where were we? So we had no ZBA secretary in 2025 expenses.
She hasn't put in her bill yet.
Okay, is that correct? Is that, so, do we know when we're getting that?
Probably the end of the year.
Okay. And is that different from the person who's the other?
Yes, it's Jackie Collins.
Oh, Jackie does that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Does anybody have any other questions on this?
Nope.
All right. Parks and Rec. Thank you. Good, and you?
I'm good, thanks.
You want to share that?
We were hoping to go at 6 o'clock, which I was told. We have a program going on now, dodgeball at the Central School gym.
Oh, nice.
So he normally don't dress like this, but
Do you need to be there right now?
He's not out on a pass.
we begged his wife to take over the program, so we were hoping to be in at 6 o'clock.
Looks like you should have zigged when you should have zagged.
I think so.
Yeah, you think?
He lost in dodgeball last week.
Is that what it was?
They just break one out of two.
We fully insured for this program?
No. Just a couple comments before we get into our information. Interesting year, budget-wise, as far as Parks and Rec was going. One big issue, we couldn't find a WSI swim instructor, so it's the first year we didn't have swim lessons. So it was $3,000 there. So we're raising the pay a little bit on that on that position to attract some people. Second thing, we added a beach monitor. The year before, we did have some incidents down there, and if no one's there, no lifeguard, no swim lessons, no myself, it's open season. Do what you want. Bring your dog, smoke, drink, whatever you want to do. So we've had beach monitors. The first year was this past year. And she was great in a lot of ways, but she hated to confront people. So we got to get some tougher people down there. So anyway, that was part of the budget.
Can I ask a question?
October came and I got my results of where we stood, and I'm sorry.
That's good. So why does the police don't monitor the beach? Why isn't that it's not part of their specific responsibility? Now we have 4 policemen. I knew, no, we
Yeah.
had 2 before.
Exactly.
That you'd have to ask the police chief, but we've never, I don't think we've ever had somebody standing at the beach monitoring it at any time. We only do this during events.
No, I just think that during that time, so I don't expect somebody to be at the beach 24/7.
No, this beach monitor's there during the day, not just during events.
No,
Right.
No, but I was wondering why they could count as part of their
Patrol.
patrol. They go
Yeah,
by
no,
there
I agree.
3 times-
I agree,
3 or 4 times a
absolutely.
day.
Even when we had an extra police car, I had asked to see if they could just park a
Yeah.
police cruiser there just to kind of, but, we've talked about cameras and everything else, not only there, but like out on Cow Island, and there's been damage out there, so, we're working on that.
What kind of damage, what level of damage are we
The
talking
beach
about?
monitor's much more financially
Well, I mean,
prudent than a,
in the last 3 years, we've had break-ins in the shed, we've had broken, Bob House, smashing our wall, another one where we had the parking lot good, beams smashed. I've had 3 or 4 pop-up tents stolen over the years, so,
So having cameras there
Yeah.
that's short money and a deterrent, and you
yeah,
can-
absolutely,
uh,
absolutely.
that makes a lot of sense to me.
Just continue, a couple of comments before we get into it. When I got my final results in October, all of a sudden, which never has happened over the last 4 years, police details on my budget. I don't know why. Okay, so I don't care about that. I mean, I go out and raise $6,200 for my bands to come in the summer. But if the beach monitor is in my budget, let me know about it. I should know about that, and the town voted on that budget, and all of a sudden, it's in my budget.
So where are, I'm not
Where is
tracking
this?
where the beach monitors are in here.
Well, I caught it because under the line item that said concerts, which was normally just banners and advertising, I was over budget. And I said, why am I over budget here? Well, you take 9 concerts at $180 each, or whatever it is. That's why I was over budget. So I'm just kind of letting you know where I stood as far as budget-wise. The other issue is Old Home Days. It was $5,000, and there was a bill in there for $3,000. The plan was to have this blow-up city where we had a dozen blow-up scavenger hunts, water slides, all that type of stuff. And by the time we got the final okay, it was an insurance issue. The company was gonna insure it finally. It was 2 weeks before the event, so I canceled it. And I said, I'm not gonna go through all this, set it all up and have 11 kids show up for $3,000. So that's why we didn't spend that $3,000 on Old Home Days. So anyway, that's just my comments on this year's budget. You want,
Can I just go, I'm sorry, can you-
go ahead, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So I'm trying to figure out, on Old Home Days, I understand now the differences. This is because of insurance and timing, right? Where is the, I see you $300 of a budget on concert details and banners. I don't see you being, I see you have 1,000 in your budget and you have 1,300 spent to date. And I don't think there's any more concerts going on at the beach.
Yeah, well,
I don't know where
the sheet I got, yeah.
And so where is the 4,000 for the beach monitors?
That's all on the support staff.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll get into that. I'll go right down the list, I can explain each one.
okay. All right.
So the top one is the salary for the full-timer, myself, and that was step 5, and the selectmen approved that. It was actually a 50-cent difference, so I think I'm worth the 50 cents, to be honest with you. The water safety instructor, again, is 24 days. It's 2 sessions of 3 weeks each, $125 a day, basically $25 an hour. We offered 20 last year, and it's just the setup is hard to get a WSI and a swim instructor, and we put ads in the paper and everything else, and nothing's happening. So we're working on that now, because.
And this revenue that comes in behind that offsets some of that, so.
Absolutely, yeah. The support staff is broken down to both the beach monitor and the beach maintenance. The beach monitor is 50 dates, 180 hours at $20 an hour. It's $3,600. And the beach,
Do you have this on a piece of paper? Because that we can get to see. Is that a support? Can we just get a copy of your piece of paper? We'll
I
make
just
it-
got a handwritten,
That's fine. I can read handwriting.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So I'll give it to you when I'm done.
Okay. Well, I'm writing down all this
Yeah, I know,
information
I know.
on a piece of paper.
The beach maintenance is 55 days, 2 hours a day. So 110 hours at $20 is $2,200, so that comes out to $5,800, you add them both together. We left in $480 for contingency, and what happens there is, again, Zach is my guy that puts up my swim lines, my docks, and many times I say, you gotta move 6 picnic benches here, come back there, move 6 benches there, so that's what that extra money is for on that. Don't even get me into the youth assistance in the town of Wolfboro. It's been 7 years I've been here, and we've been dragging our feet in the whole thing, so I don't even want to get into discussion. I know there's a lot going on with the police department, the board of selectmen told me. They're doing a lot of different things, but we gotta deal with it. Every year we pay the full amount to them, and we can prove every year what we actually spend. It's not the 16, 17 grand, it might be 10 grand, but we still pay them their money. On the reverse end of that, all my programs, I got people from Wolfboro coming to my programs. Come to the youth, the adult dodgeball, and see the 45 guys playing dodgeball. And a lot of them are Wolfboro residents. Do we charge them? No, we don't. So they know about it. Audley knows about it. We're supposed to be dealing with it, but you know what? We're dragging our feet in it. And it's a farce, to be honest with you. And it shouldn't happen like that, but it's in my budget. Lifeguard training is the same. We might have to, again, recertify if we do get a person to come in to teach. Camp Sentinel runs a training program, or whether it's lifeguard suits or whatever, that's what that's for. The toilets, I never got any information on it raised, so we kept it the same. Old home days. Again, that's, for the last 2 years, we've given out 200 T-shirts, Tufton Boat T-shirts, and I think that adds to the community spirit. And if you want, I'll talk a half hour on community spirit and what's got to happen, but I won't today. But advertising, bands, T-shirts, prizes for the contest, and some of the food. This year, we moved the town picnic back to Central Park, and it was a big success. We have electricity there now, so we're gonna use that. Actually, we've got a big Christmas thing planned. Hopefully we can all attend on that. That's coming up on Saturday, the 6th of December. Hay rides, photos, Santas, bonfire. It's not bonfire, it's bonfire. That's a little mistake he caught me on. You know, just decorations of ornaments, tree lighting, things like that. So that's coming up there, but that's the Central Park thing, and we're glad that the Tufton Borough Association helped us with the cost of the electricity there. The 8 concerts, again, we're looking for banners, advertisement, and the police detail. And again, I don't mind paying it, I just wanna know about it. What we did with the selectmen, the recreation areas was kind of a mixture of, if I went and bought stuff for the Easter egg hunt or the Halloween thing, but then if I went to the hardware store and got keys made or got paint for the cornhole to line the field, it was all mixed in together. So we kind of separated that a little bit. You can see that the recreation areas went down 2,000, but the supplies went up from 100 to 1,000. So we kind of separated the recreation areas basically being for programs and the other stuff for supply type things. Trash, we went up on his thing because we got more barrels down there, so he's dumping more trash for us. Office supplies stayed the same. Beach and dock maintenance, again, it's this guy here that puts them in, takes them out. And that's roughly, well, over the years, it's pretty much been the same. It was
Yeah,
higher.
it hasn't changed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It might have changed a couple $100 in 7 years.
Right, yeah.
So that's beach and dock maintenance, so, right? So right now I've got, I had an
Well-
actual for 24 of 6,600, and I got a budget of 3,000, for which we spent 8,000
Yeah,
this year, right?
right.
And then you had 12,000, but the selectmen took down to 5,000.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to understand what happened there.
I didn't want to get into it, but I'll tell you about it. The docks down there for the last 7 years, we've been putting Band-Aids left and right. You go buy a pot over at the dock store, and a pot like this might be $675. This guy here, I've been calling, we might be a 3-week period, I'll call him 4 or 5 times and say the docks are uneven. Long story short, they're too old and they're bad, so we went and got a quote. The quote we got was from, what's the dock place in
Center Harbor,
Center
Dock and Pier.
Harbor? Yeah. They gave us a deal, they gave us 5% off. This Thursday, they're actually gonna be shooting anchors into the floor of the lake. Setting up the new docks. These old heavy docks are now gonna be not used, and these docks now are only 100 pounds each, right?
Yeah, between.
Plus the
one-
swim lines are gonna be
section.
back.
There's many sections.
And they said we could pay, it's roughly 20 grand, 10 grand this year, 10 grand next year. So we took the 3,000 from Old Home Days, took 7,000 from our fund, from the recreation fund, to pay for this year. So when I initially made this out, I was including the 10 grand, that's where that 12 grand was. So the second payment of 10 grand is due the following year, and we talked about encumbering.
Making it a
We had
warrant
big
article for
discuss.
$10,000.
You know, 19 Mile Bay is a gem down there.
Yeah.
You've got one of the most beautiful beaches, and if we don't take care of it, people were upset they didn't have swim lines this year. And what I told him is take the 6 sections and get the 3 best, put them together, no swim lines, just to get through this year, which we did. The time is right
I
now.
think the issue is, if I'm not mistaken on this, but you're just entering into a capital project for $20,000
Right.
that didn't go through any formal process.
It went through the Board of Selectmen.
No, it's gonna go through a warrant article.
No, we didn't want to do that.
Well, no, but that's what I was talking about, putting it up as a warrant article, and the board, the Board of Selectmen as a board, decided to do it this way. Pay the deposit this year out of monies that he had, and include the second half in next year's budget. Because it's a replacement of an existing item.
And then with every fire truck should just be in the budget, second. I mean, I think it's really, yeah.
This defeats the whole purpose of having an operating budget versus your capital improvements, because yours is $20,000. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. A fire truck is a lot of money, but it's all relative to the size of the department and the capital expenditure. Yours should have been, this should not have even, I mean, I know you needed them, but this should have been, you go CIP, hey, we need new docks, we need them this coming year, which could have gotten planned for, which should have been a warrant article.
There was a price change. Tell us about the price. If we didn't do what we did this year, what was going to happen on the price?
I'm not saying
No,
this should
let
have
him at
come.
least explain.
So we got a $3,000 credit, somewhere around there, 2,000 to 3,000 for getting it done. With them installing it this year, it's a free installation and fitting and getting everything done for free. Plus they gave us a 5% discount. Also, to get it done this year, they deducted, I think it was 500 extra, just to move things along, to make numbers work better.
I understand that,
Okay.
but that's irrelevant. What should have happened last year, you guys should have said, this has got to be on, because then you still could have gotten all those discounts and you still could have saved the town a whole lot of money, because they still would have been putting them in this year, is what we were trying to get at. Great,
Understood.
I'm glad you guys did that, and I'm happy about that, but this is defeating the process.
I also think it's just really, then why have a budget? If we're just gonna spend the money how, so I think this is a bigger discussion to be had, but it doesn't need to be right now. But,
Nope.
Yeah, it's not.
If you watch, was this done at a selectmen's meeting or a work session?
No, Selectmen is-
Then it's all on video. You can watch it. You can watch the discussion. I recommend that you do.
Are these aluminum docks that we're buying this year?
Yes.
How many sections are there?
1, 2, 3, 4 per side. They are 10 by 4 sections, 10 foot by 4 foot sections, and there's 4 per interconnected. And then they have some diagonal bracing that'll be added, as well as the anchors, and then they'll have the swim lines between them. We wanted to add the diag.
How much is each section?
I don't have the information in front of me.
Do we have
It's
DS?
8
Do
sections.
you have DS approval?
We do not need it because it's replacing what has already
They
been
have a
approved.
permit by notification process that they can go through that.
Did you do that?
I went
Changing
through,
the- Changing the anchoring?
You want the jack?
Jack had said that it's not in his, it's not his area. But the Center Harbor dock had told me that there is
They
no,
usually do it.
they do all of that, exactly. They said I didn't have to go to DES
So they did the
because it's
due diligence?
replacement
File
of
it as-
existing.
It's probably a small amount of money, may not even have highlighted it on you.
Do we go out to bid? Do we get other bids?
No, it was a time thing. And again,
How do we know we got a deal?
the other question I had, the revolving fund was roughly $8,000 in there. That's money coming in from people playing cornhole, people playing dodgeball, whatever. All my money I raised for my concerts, which was $6,200, goes in there. The selectman told me that's money Phys Ed Parks and Rec has. So we had $8,000, it's been sitting at it was at $12,000. Then there's a trail fund with about $4,000. That's been sitting there since I've been here. So what a better time to use it for something that's definitely necessary.
So I just want to tell you something that you need to really bear in mind and for the future, is that every single appropriation of money does not get determined by us, doesn't get determined by the selectmen,
Yeah.
doesn't get determined by you, it gets determined by the voters. And that's the only people that can do it.
Maybe I'm getting the wrong information, I'm getting wrong feedback, but that was what I was told.
Okay.
So one more point I want to make is that in past years, the bottom line of my budget hasn't gone over. Whether we stole from Peter for this line to that, to get that, and that's what we did with the other 3,000. So, I mean,
Is this 5,000 here, what is this for? For the beach, the amount that's been left by the selectmen, the 12,000 you recommended and the 5,000, what is that for?
5,000 is for dock installation, dock removal, stuff like that.
That's so standard, please.
Thank you.
handwritten sheet to make noise.
Okay.
Your handwritten
The
sheet.
handwritten sheet.
One
Your notes.
The one with your budget notes.
Yeah, this is extremely frustrating. This is like.
What happens to the old dogs?
Decision.
They can take them away, is that part of this also?
No. So we were going to
This is-
talk to, I was gonna talk to DES about using 2 sections as
Oh,
a
for
platform for dancing at the beach for the concerts.
Yeah.
We are also talking about moving 2 sections over to Central Park by the fire station. In the years past, I've used one of my personal trailers as a stage for the bands to play off of
Okay.
and for different stuff. So
Yeah,
we're looking at
so
maybe
use
having
for 'em.
general purposing them
Okay.
to something different.
There's no more expense then, that's what.
No, no. Sorry.
That's great.
So, okay. So I would like to just note for the record that we've got to be very careful about how we spend public money.
I'm sorry, I can't hear.
We'd be very careful about how we spend public money, and that we'd be very careful about how we appropriate it. So,
So you're okay then?
It's gonna cost you. Okay.
hey, Kate, I don't make the rules, just to be clear, right?
I'm just going by the information that was given to me, okay? It
So,
wasn't done,
does anybody have any other comments on this? We also can have a discussion about it at next
Yeah, next meeting.
meeting.
Yep.
Time to go, Jeff.
Thank
Do you want us to come back to that too?
Why don't we decide before next meeting? Okay? So Dennis, this here, even though is really helpful
Yeah.
in understanding what's going on. So
Yeah.
in the future, if we can just get this and maybe get, it, you know, a little pretty, it can be handwritten, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's perfect, but this is really helpful. It makes things more understandable.
understand.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No, we got plenty.
All right, anybody else have any other questions, Parks and Rec? Okay,
Thank you, guys.
thank you.
Thank you.
By the way, you guys do amazing work, and I hate that this becomes contentious like this, because I know how much fun the kids have, and I know what great events you do. And I know what the beach
Agreed.
concerts like, I can tell from my house, they're awesome, so, it's
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
fun time.
Have fun, don't eat it. There you go.
All right, solid waste. So,
Thank you.
before we get going on solid waste, I have a general observation, I have a couple of general observations as it relates to, Guy Pike did some amazing work, so thank you for that, Guy. And
Well-
thank you for getting it out. And I think, and I see we've got some additional material here, so I don't know if this answers any of this stuff, but I think we really need to work, and Chris, this is gonna be on you, we need to really work
Oh, I'm
on
sorry.
this is a big budget. It's a huge, it's I think our third or fourth largest budget in the town. It's over 10% of our town operating expenses. And so we really need to get, you know, we need to get a little bit of a better handle on how we present this material and information. So there's gonna be, I think probably a lot of this in this year already, which part of me makes me want to defer until next time.
Yeah, I think we need to, because we need to look at this. This is a lot, we should have gotten this. We should have gotten this.
The one in your left hand was created today.
This one?
Yes.
Steve,
Yeah.
okay.
Right, so,
So I would almost, rather than discussing this budget tonight, I would like to see some information. And I'm happy to give a list to anybody who wants to take the list to have it done. Okay, so I would, for each of the personnel positions, I would like to understand the people involved. For instance, the cycling attendant, I think, is more than one person. I'd like to understand their hours worked, what their rate was for 2025, and what their increase is for 2026, like we have for all the other departments. So we list the people out, what their merit, what their COLA increase was, what their step increase was, and what that looks like. For the next 3 disposal accounts, this all accounts for a huge chunk of the budget I'm talking about right now. Yep, I'd like to see some volume and pricing information on it. So what's happened over time with the volumes that have been deposited and removed through our solid waste facility, and what the pricing per whatever unit is, per ton, per whatever, and how that's evolved over time. And then, once we do that, what the justification is for the increase that we're reflecting in here. There's also, there's a number of your budgets that for 2025 are upside down. So we've spent more than what we budgeted for. And so I'd like to understand why we're upside down. On those. Expenses. So in particular, for instance, supplies are way over. What's that? Supplies are over, vehicle maintenance is over. What's the other one? Tires, Freon metal is over. Closure monitoring is over. So before we put this budget down, it's not only what the expenses are, but I want to make sure that we adequately budget to cover whatever expenses are going to be in here.
I think I'd like to know also the summer and winter populations of the 4 towns that are under tabulation for this.
Well, it's year-round. I mean, pretty much Ospey is 4608. That's just those are the year-rounders.
Oh, I see, I'm sorry, I missed
It's
that.
okay.
Yeah,
You're good.
Got it.
You're good.
So these are the year-round populations.
But the hours are the same, no matter if you've got 400 people, if you've got 4,000 people, they're still, the hours of the dump are still the same.
Is this what he's asking, the things he's asking for? This is just revenue?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need to get some of these before we can even really fully start looking at it and breaking it down.
So we're the only town that collects brush, is that the idea?
With only one on this list that documents it, yeah. There are some towns that do not accept brush.
Don't accept it?
Right.
Yeah. Well, I know there's another facility over in Ossipee
Yep.
that the residents can go to. I think there's a small charge, but then we charge too, so, all right.
So are these apples to apples now? They got the, because we have 594 as our budget, and here's 675. Is the difference between these two that we're including in here, benefit, yeah, Medicare retirement, yeah. That's it. Who put this together?
I did.
Put this together?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Depends.
So,
We need to look at it.
yeah, but I mean, but looking at this on the face of it, you know, it's not really even close on the expense level
No.
that we have compared to what other towns are paying. So I think that's gonna warrant, we're gonna wanna take a pretty long, deep dive into this. Bob, had you seen this information before?
I just got it this, I just got it.
I'm
when I
sure
walked
you,
in.
I'm sure you wanna digest all this as
Oh,
well.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
But I just got this when I walked in the door tonight.
okay,
This was created today.
yeah, this is very good, thank you, Olivia.
You're welcome. I had a long conversation with the finance person in New Durham, and she said they had recently put their disposal out for bid, and Waste Management was the least expensive by far.
I think we're gonna need a little information also about the kind of baling equipment and collection mechanisms that are used in each of these facilities, so that we can compare them. In some cases, like, I just looked at Guy's analysis very briefly, and he mentioned something about our inability to stack the cardboard in such a way that we could be spending a little less money to actually get that as a product out of the floor area. And it's because of the way our machinery is set up. So I'm not criticizing the way that our machinery is set up. I just think we need to be able to compare what we're doing to the other areas. And so maybe a couple of phone calls might have to be made just to,
I thought it would be great to even visit a couple, but I think that's a bigger project that
It
won't
is.
happen
Sounds like-
this budget season.
Well, yeah, this can't happen before the budget, but it's certainly something worth looking at. But this sounds like we're approaching a subcommittee level.
Yeah, yeah.
What does that mean?
Well,
Creating a subcommittee, not leaving this on any one person to do.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
oh, absolutely. But something like this should have been done, getting this tonight at the 11th and a half hours, once again, you know, this is extremely, extremely good, but something might want to be reconsidering the budget based on this. Again.
Hard to analyze.
Not
One
really.
thing-
There's good information here, but there's also missing information. This is strictly budget.
But the bottom line is accurate.
The bottom line is accurate.
Right.
Yeah, there
Right,
might be
but-
missing information
But
or,
towns might do something different, like I didn't, in Ospey's, I didn't see equipment, a backhoe. So what do they use?
Right.
You know, I know, and.
I'm just saying these are
Exactly.
operating budgets, but the numbers are right.
so,
Okay.
Well, but I mean, I think the notion that, you know, there's a $200,000 difference between us and New Durham, which is the same size as us, and there is, you know, a town that's twice our size is still less than us, and the town that's half our size is a third of us. I mean, directionally, the arrows all point in the same direction. I think if there were a way, I don't know where you got all this information from, I don't know how, whether you were able to make, but it would be interesting to know what their disposal fees are. So what they're actually paying per whatever it is, per ton of the main items. If we could somehow get that information, I think that would be pretty instructive. Because I think a lot of the other stuff, we can sort of, you know, how much does it cost to run from internal personnel? We can compare that pretty easily. So. I would, Guy, do you want to talk on the work that you did, or do you think that we're at a place right now where we're waiting for more information to come back?
I think we're at that place where we'd like to have more information, but I will, at the end of this discussion, I'd like to editorialize a little bit.
Okay, and I was wondering whether we should not consider getting into a non-public session.
Now?
No, after we've done this.
Yes.
Mr. Chair?
I think another point that I'd like to make is that Ossory's got a public works department, and I'm not sure just how much of their labor is shared
It's,
with public
that's,
works.
that's delegated. It's in his stuff.
Okay.
Yes.
all right.
Yeah. He can expound upon that
I'm just
for
trying
you.
to keep it apple to apples.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, nope, agreed, Gary.
I don't know if this is out of bounds or if it's even possible, but could we ask for, is it New Durham that went out and got a quote from Waste? Is it possible to take a look at that quote?
I can ask, yeah,
You
it's
can
all
ask,
public
yeah.
information.
Okay, well, okay, right,
Yeah.
right.
All right, I think we're done with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 323 MC.
Yep. Yeah, I do.
Because I think you got your marching orders at this point to go back and take a look at
Sure.
this additional information we need. And then I think we will like to get the information, and then, at the next meeting, we'll make that the consideration for the budget.
Next week, next meeting,
No, it's
Way down the road.
down the road.
2 weeks from now.
I had my calendar right this December 9th?
Yes, on the 9th.
Six o'clock again.
6-ish.
6-ish, okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't come before 6:15.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're good.
If I
All
may
right,
now
thank you.
editorialize?
Hang on, we're
No,
gonna,
we're gonna go into
Non-public.
non-public session. You can editorialize after that.
Okay,
That's good. Oh, do you want to do one, Mrs. Chair?
I would like to.
Sorry, go ahead.
Chris and I, when I was a selectman, met with a representative from Scales Company. At that time, $66,000 would have paid for the scales, and $100,000 would have paid for somebody certainly to operate it. And knowing, as in the middle of October, that Ossipee had already recouped $160,000, I think it's criminal that we've been without scales for as long as we have. And I know Chris is a proponent of getting them, and I think it's boo on the selectmen for not proposing and doing this long before now. Thank you.
So I'd like to add a context on CIP for it.
Yes.
So I think when we've been on CIP, we've asked for the analysis to happen as it relates to what it is, because the issue around the scale is not, because we still collect revenue.
Yes.
We collect revenue, so how much more revenue would we collect if we had a scale?
Absolutely.
And that's the unknown quantity that really justifies the payback on whether you get a scale. There are two things in my book that are really, three things actually. That's how much more revenue we get on the scale versus what we get today, and what's that payback look like on the cost of the scale, is one. Two is, we have employees who are in a position of making a guesstimate estimate that probably ticks people off more times than not, because everybody thinks they've got less than they have, and that's just the reality of life. And Short isn't very comfortable at times when these guys are sitting there having to deal with that, right? And number three, as a citizen of Tufton Borough, if I take my stuff in there and I don't feel I've been fairly treated, then I don't feel good about that either. So those are the three factors of which are important to be weighed, no pun intended.
I support a scale. I've been talking about it with Guy for years, but as a selectman, when he sat next to me, neither one of us were able to get it to move it forward.
Okay, so within, maybe it goes into our CIP discussions and we try and move it forward in a way that makes sense. I don't think we have enough information at this point to really make the decision as to whether we get it or not get it based on, I'm sorry, on my, if I was gonna evaluate, which I would as a budget committee member, I don't know whether I have enough information to evaluate that.
Okay.
I am predisposed though towards it. All right? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. All right. Can I get a motion?
Make a motion, we go into non-public under 91A3 2A.
Second.
Can I get a roll call vote?
Bye, guy.
Kevin, aye.
Gary, yes?
Ryerson, yes.
Sawyer, yes.
Brendan, yes.
Murray, yes.
Back on video.
We'll now return to public session at 7:26 p.m.
Looks like it.
I make a motion to return to public session. Sawyer, yes.
7:26.
I second the motion.
Thank you.
Brendan Goffin, yes?
Murray, yes.
Pike, yes?
Lawler, yes.
Gary James, yes?
Ryerson, yes. Okay,
Woo-hoo.
thank you.
Moving on.
All right. Okay, let's go through,
Jack's gone. Building inspection?
yep.
I'll make a motion to accept 4240 in building inspection in the amount of $94,958.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? 7-0. Docks and bridges. So I'd like to talk about this a little bit. I would like the selectmen to go back and consider, instead of putting this into the operating budget, putting in a warrant article for a selectmen, a expendable trust for engineering.
Consulting and engineering, yep. And expendable,
Expendable trust.
Yep.
For consulting and engineering. At the discretion, at the selection, whatever, somebody's got the right wording for this, at the selectmen.
Selectmen appointed as agents to expend.
Spend, thank you.
Yes, you will.
And my rationale for this is that I don't see this as being an operating expense. I see this being a capital expense that should get tagged to a capital project in the end. And that I don't want to see our operating budget increase by things that are really going to be improving for the long term, the nature of the town and the voters should vote on.
And this is gonna be continuing, so we'll make it non-lapsing?
it's an expendable trust, so that will,
Takes care of it, okay.
you got it. Nope, good question, Gary.
I think what it also does, it gives the selectmen the opportunity to spend this money when it's necessary to be spent, to the point of not.
Rush to do it all.
Right,
All that.
right.
I agree.
Thank you.
So Bob,
So we're gonna table that.
I'm gonna table this for now, kick it back to you guys. Okay. Tabled. Account 4619.1, other conservation. Any discussion? Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 4619.1 other conservation in the amount of $10,014.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Emergency management? Anybody have anything they want to talk about? Can I get a motion?
I make a motion that we approve line item 4290 in the amount of $24,066.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Good. So, and we're gonna table fire and rescue.
Yep.
All right, moving on to agenda item number 8. 4130, executive.
Thank you.
You want?
So they upped it.
What's that?
I made it higher.
I'll have it from last time.
Oh, that's funny. Ay, ay,
Did it go up?
ay. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Thank you. So they all changed.
Yeah, no.
The two top two. That went to 63.
Administrative secretary went up to do a step.
Yeah, they went up.
It was 61.
916, now
Oh,
it's
okay.
63154.
And there's a new vote based
So
on
can-
selectmen, 1110.
Okay, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Of course.
Do anybody have anything they would like to talk about on this? Has the reviews been done?
Yes.
So the reviews have been done and the grade increases have gone through?
Yes.
Okay. I would ask for a motion from the floor.
I'll move 4130, executive for the amount of 191,714.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Discussion. And I'd ask if people are gonna vote no on it, that they, if they feel comfortable to express why they're voting no on it. On any of these items. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Roll call.
No, I think it's
It's-
5 to 2.
It's 5 to 2.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Shows you how much power I have in my requests.
If your borderland is into town?
Ja, dat is niet goed, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're not doing the right thing. That's what I'm looking at.
That's how you report it.
All right, so that was that. Agenda. So, list of open items, we got a list that Ashley handed out, which was great. I sent a list that I didn't copy, I just copied Chris and Dave at Selectmen Rep. there was a bunch of questions as it related to, and asking for certain invoices as it related to copies of the following, of the mountainside landscaping invoices. There's a, why we allocated $10,000 of the sweeping expense to roadside mowing. Whether there was any road striping for new roads, other than new roads. I want to see the invoice for the major road paving and the minor road paving. And I want to go through some of the expenses in the warrant articles that weren't, that didn't make sense to me. There was a bunch of issues and questions where money was sitting. So, that went out on November 12th, and I've been informed by Ashley that it's been given to whoever's gonna address it, and hopefully we'll get answers to those questions.
Good, good.
Okay? And Ashley, can we add legal to the next agenda for reconsideration?
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, so I think until we get the questions on the answer to my questions on the status of funding of money warrant, hopefully the information will be provided to us next, before next board meeting, next budget committee meeting. Department visits, I don't think we're gonna do the department visits. I spent quite a bit of time at the fire station already, so I think we'll do it later. So we can take that off. Unless anybody has any opposition to that?
No.
No? Board of Selectmen update?
I don't think I can really speak to his progress on the police station, if you want any of that.
Yeah.
There's not much has changed in a week, but HVAC has been started. The doors have been delivered and installed, windows have been delivered and installed. Waiting on garage doors, siding is going to be installed, starting to be installed shortly. So, moving forward.
Looks good. Looks good. So on other, I had sent out a handout, I know everybody's getting to the end of there, but I sent out a handout on the CIP on the capital reserves that we're gonna want to spend some more time on, but I wanted to make sure that the selectmen were aware of what we're looking at. So I don't know where you are, Bob, in your consideration of the warrant articles for capital expenditures. Thank you.
Typically, don't start talking about those until after the first of the year.
Okay. So the one thing that's going on here that is, I think the fire engine one is the same as you saw last year. Nothing's changing, it's just rolling forward, so it's actually kind of working the way we hoped it would work. The one that is a little different, and you're going to take a look at it, is the fire department emergency vehicles and boat fund.
What page are you on?
It's the third page. And I'm sure you're gonna speak to the fire chief and Captain Morgan more about this, but there is a situation with Rescue One where the truck they bought, I think, is a 350 or something like that, and the cab on the back is too heavy and it doesn't perform.
Mm-hmm.
And so what they want to do, which kind of all seems to make sense to me, but it's expensive obviously, is to get the right chassis for Rescue One, put the stuff on the back of that, take Rescue One and make it the forestry truck, and take the forestry truck and move to like be the trucks that they just ride around in when they're going to inspect stuff and look at stuff where they don't need to take one of the heavy vehicles.
Yep, I'm familiar with that conversation.
Yeah, that conversation. So that's sort of a much bigger item than we had last year in this bucket. So it's going to require. I'd almost like to keep the funding that we had in here consistent, and then just take 70,000 out of the unassigned fund balance to fit the gap in it.
And you're talking Rescue 1.
Yeah, Rescue 1 and a little bit of work on Forestry 1 to put the cab on, I guess. So that was that, and then the other thing is the two fire stations. You know, they've had this project of when they're gonna bring in these new fire engines, and they've gotta raise those buildings up so they can fit, so they don't have to spend more money on having especially fitted and done. And so those numbers right now, I think, are around 500,000 each to do. And the question is getting ahead of it and planning for it and having it be something versus a petition warrant article, which, you know, just doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. I'd rather have it be planned for, and coming up with some sort of a concept around the way that it would be handled. Whether we have to do it this year or next year, but just trying to think through it. 'Cause if we're gonna do it through capital reserves, then we wanna suck more money away.
We need to, and I'm on board with this, and we need to have it fully engineered, which means we're gonna spend money on engineering first, then they're gonna derive a budget from the engineering, and then that goes to warrant articles. So this is years down the road, but the process starts now.
But there's money, how are we gonna fund that
Mhm.
is what we gotta worry about now. Even though we don't know what the end amount is gonna be, if we're gonna go down this road, how are we gonna fund it? And I know people are gonna I would seriously consider borrowing money for this. And it's very different to buying a fire engine, to a truck, or anything else like that, because it's a long-term 40-year asset that we can borrow money at from the state of New Hampshire through their program at 2.5%. And I think it kind of fails the IQ test not to do that.
Yeah.
Because we're owning 4%. We can take the money they give us and
Invest
in what
it.
they- and somebody
Right.
giving us 1.5%. So I know we had this discussion, the reason why I'm a little sensitive to this issue, because this discussion happened at the last town meeting, and I was told we don't borrow money. Well, the reality is we do borrow money. We just borrowed money for 7 years at 6.5%
Right.
more
Right.
for a fire engine.
Right, so that was
you know,
just silly. Yep.
So we need
Yep.
to, but we should, I think these are the kind
Borrow
of things-
smartly.
Borrow smartly, yeah. And the nice thing about it is that rolling off is the existing loan for the fire department, so, you know.
Hence why we should have that expendable consulting engineering fund as a capital reserve.
And we can add to it as we need.
We can add to it as we need.
You guys got
Right, Gary?
Right, yep.
So you don't want to limit that just to docks and bridges. You want to have
An
engineering.
expendable, yeah, no, don't put it docks and bridges, an expendable consulting engineering, and when you guys pitch this at the town meeting,
Yeah.
this is what it's for this year, but, okay, we've got capital projects coming up that will require prior to going out to bid,
Yeah.
or prior to pricing. I mean, it's a smart thing to do. You're saving money.
Yeah, the sooner you get ahead of those things, the better it is. And you need to add some ability. You can't get a warrant article for each one of them. Right.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.